Welcome to my channel. This is Mario Lloyd, also known as Real Estate Guru PK. On this channel, we talk about my real estate endeavors. We also have the top real estate producers and the top entrepreneurs in the country. Be sure to click the link below with Justin P. with his Support Black Colleges marketing course. Also with Jason White's Crack the Code affiliate link, click that below as well. Also to support the channel, Webull, M1 Finance, Chase, Discover, Robinhood, and Public, a stock trading app. We hope you enjoyed this episode. This is Real Estate Guru PK signing out. How y'all doing? We got a special guest. She flew all the way here from Nashville. We got It's Coach K.
Yes.
How you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Thank you for flying out here.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. So we normally ask everybody how you started. I know you said that you want to be a lawyer. You were pursuing that like through college. And like basically what happened, and then like what was your first like aha moment with the grants and everything? Yeah, we can start.
Yeah, okay. So outside of, I worked for a financial institution for a very long time. But I was also an entrepreneur myself. So I have a child care facility. Mm-hmm. And with my child care facility, we had exhausted every avenue of resources that I had. I had maxed out my credit cards. I had a HELOC, a home equity line of credit. And I was drowning in debt. But I didn't want to let my child care facility go. So what I did was I incorporated or went to grants to start trying to just kind of dig out of the hole that I was in. So my first grant was $500. $500 to just kind of invest into my business. And when I first got it, it was like, what am I going to do with a $500 grant? My overhead was probably $10,000 at the time. But what it did was it gave me the confidence to know that there were companies and organizations that would invest into my business. So that was my first aha moment. It was like, okay, yeah, I can do this.
So how does someone go about receiving a grant or getting a grant?
So with getting grants, it takes time. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes consistency. You want to start, my 3-step strategy is you want to start with the foundation of your business. Everything that we do starts with just building out your brand and making sure that you are investing into your own mission. Mm-hmm. So having the LLC, taking the necessary steps to register your business with the state, writing out a business plan, putting your vision on paper, and actually having a mission statement opens up the door for funding opportunities. And then brand appearance is important. A lot of entrepreneurs miss out on funding just because they don't invest into a website. They don't have a business email address. They don't have, just the brand appearance, a LinkedIn account or a social media platform. So if you take the steps to invest into your business and build out your business correctly, it starts the foundation of opening up the door for funding.
And grants, you don't have to pay back.
Right. Grants are debt-free. So no requirement to repay it. There's no credit check when it comes to grants. Mm-hmm. So you can potentially get, and there's unlimited funding opportunities. So we have someone that's in our community who just texted me a couple of days ago. She's at $452,000 that she's received in grant funding. We have someone else who's received $1.7 million in grant funding for her business. Personally, in a lump sum, I've received $146,000 at one time for my business.
Oh, wow.
So grant funding is unlimited. You can start the year off and say, you know what, I need $100,000 extra for my business. And you can go after that $100,000 in grant funding.
And they just drop that $100,000 in your bank account?
It's not as easy as just a drop in your bank account. Sometimes you have to spread it out over several grants, right? So you might get a $10,000 grant here, a $50,000 grant there. It just kind of depends on what you're what your business is and who you're looking for and the organizations you're going after. There are grants that are $4 million. We just did a grant application for someone it's called the Black Ambition Grant. It was $1 million funding opportunity for his invention. That grant is still pending. Fingers crossed that he receives it. But there are $1 million grants out there.
Oh, that makes sense. But the way of receiving the grant is a drop in your bank account? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Once you're approved and once you get the award, it's a drop in your bank account. Yep, you have to have a business bank account. That's key. We've had people who missed out on funding opportunities because they didn't have a business bank account. So they got to the final stage of funding and didn't have the business bank account. So but once you're approved, it's a transfer into your business bank account. You don't have to pay it back, debt free. Yeah, unlimited.
Oh, wow. And what's the normal time frame for getting approved for a grant?
Time frame is different for each person. I say anywhere between 3 months and 18 months, depending on the volume of the grant. You might see a grant that has a deadline for the end of July. You might be able to get that grant. If you're approved for that grant, you might get it early August. But there's a grant right now that's a real estate grant. They're not going to announce the winner until 2025, but it's a $500,000 grant. Oh. So if I want, if I'm in real estate, me personally, I actually start looking for my grants about a year in advance. So, if I'm in real estate, I'll wait a year for $500,000. So It just kind of depends on your business.
Oh, okay. And the money that is being given out through grants, who are these people? Like, are they like foundations that are just giving away money? Like what?
So that's a great question. Foundations that's a great start in looking for grants. I tell people every organization that you can think of, every major company that you can think of, they have grant funding. Okay. So if Lowe's has a home impact grant, they have $100 million fund and funding that they are giving out to organizations that want to make a difference in their communities and build homes. Home Depot, they have a $200,000 grant for real estate as well, but you have to have a relationship with a nonprofit, or you have to have a nonprofit that's giving back to veterans. So any company that you can think of, you can Google the company, you can Google the business, Google the brand, and there will be a grant associated with the company.
Oh, okay. That was great information.
Can we piggyback on the Home Depot grant?
Yeah.
What exactly do they need to qualify for that?
So the Home Depot grant is, I believe it's $500,000 to $1 million. Okay. You have to be a nonprofit. So even if you're not a nonprofit, what you can do is say, hey, I'm the real estate investor, right? I have the construction company, but you're a nonprofit and your nonprofit targets veterans. So we can team up together, your nonprofit and my real estate company, and we can go after the Home Depot grant to go build homes or rehab homes that cater to disabled veterans.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. Yep. Tons of funding opportunity out there. And people think, just because of the industry that they're in, they don't qualify for grants. Anyone qualifies for grants. It's all about what you're going to do with the grant funding and the structure of your business. So real estate, people would never imagine they could get $100,000, $1 million to go out and buy real estate, but you can get grants for real estate.
Nashville is it don't have any state taxes, right?
Yes, we have. Yes, we do.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Thought y'all didn't.
Yeah, we got state taxes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they said a flip in Nashville. I don't know. They say it's not so much taxes. Houses are cheap.
Houses are not cheap. I don't know. I don't know if whoever that's able to find the home. So
what's like the cheapest house you can get out there in Nashville?
In Nashville. Mm-hmm. I would say in inner city Nashville, you're not going to be able to find anything under $250,000, $300,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you can go out to like Clarksville and places like that and get them for about $100,000, $150,000. But Alabama's my second home. Alabama has some good real estate prices that are available. So if you're looking to invest, Nashville is a good. If you have the liquid capital, it's a good flip. But Alabama is kind of a gold mine too.
Okay. Can we talk about the Chick-fil-A grant?
Yeah, we can talk about the Chick-fil-A grant. So it's no longer active. It's no longer available. Yep, it's no longer available. But the Chick-fil-A grant, it's a $325,000 grant. They're looking for people who are it's called the True Inspiration Grant. So they're looking for people who are making a difference or impact in their community. So it is, you have to be currently active. You have to currently be giving back. And they are willing to invest $325,000 in whatever activity you're currently doing. So yeah, in Chick-fil-A, they give out over $5 million annually. to organizations and nonprofits and people who are making a change and a difference.
That's a lot of
So,
money.
quick question. So, let's say someone gets approved for $100,000 grant and it drops into their bank account. Does someone monitor what they do with that money, or like, what if they go splurge, vacations?
So when you sign your award letter, there will be, each company is going to be different, but there will be details about the grant. You want to be very cautious when you receive the grant, not to go out and go on vacation and splurge and buy Chanel bags. You want to use it for your mission. One, what it's going to do is it's going to open up additional funding opportunities. So if I receive $100,000 from Chick-fil-A, now I can go over to Burger King and say, hey, Chick-fil-A gave me $100,000, and this is what I was able to do with the $100,000. And this is why Burger King should give me $1 million, because this is what I did with $100,000. So it balances out, and it lets the companies know that you're credible. And when you receive grant funding, this is exactly what you're going to do. You want to keep a QuickBooks record or some type of record of how you're using the funds. So budget it down to the penny. They can come back and audit you. Each company is different. So they can have like a 5-year or 10-year time frame to come back and say, you know, hey, in a year or in 5 years, we're going to, especially government grants, we're going to come back and we're going to look at the grant and we're going to see, you know, make sure you used it for what you said. But as long as you're using it to invest into your business and your mission, you'll be fine. Yeah.
Where you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years. No longer want to be coaching. I don't want to be coaching.
How come?
I love coaching. I love the space of coaching, but I love giving back. So the goal is, I already have a nonprofit. I don't want to say the name because we're not trademarked yet. We're working on that. But I want the organization is surrounded around female entrepreneurs and just helping female entrepreneurs get over that hump. So it's not necessarily the coaching space, but just hands-on helping and servicing others.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you be, I ask all the entrepreneurs this, would you be mad if your kids didn't want to be entrepreneurial?
My daughter's already an entrepreneur. I'm not going to say I'm upset, but I think, so I worked for a financial institution. I don't know if I said that, but I am grateful for them. I think being in a corporate space for so long, it taught me a lot about how to run a business. It taught me a lot about discipline, making sure that I get up on time, you know, the importance of organization. And I think people need that skill set. There are a lot of entrepreneurs that are missing that skill set as well. And I think corporate America taught me that. So I think I want my daughter to go to college. I want my daughter to work for a large corporation and then tackle entrepreneurship. It's different for everybody, but I just think that's what worked for me. But yeah, my baby's 13 and she's on business number 4, I believe, but she's killing it. She's pretty good.
You don't want to work for you?
She works for me.
Oh, she works for you.
That's one of her. So I did a reel a couple of weeks ago and it went pretty viral, but I encourage entrepreneurs, whatever you're doing within your business, you should have multiple streams of income within your business. She actually practices that. So she has her business. She just started a jewelry line as well. And then she does affiliate links. And then she's anything that I do, she's my Zoom host. She's my coordinator. She's my bookkeeping. So she works for me as well. And then, you know, that's a tax.
At 13?
At 13.
Wow.
Yeah, at 13.
Okay.
So if I have a Zoom, she's on there as my admin, making sure everything works right in the Zoom. She actually came to me. I gave her a price of what I was going to pay her. And first she was like, all right. Then she came back and she was like, no, I looked online and people are making like $25 to $50 an hour doing this. So I want $25 an hour. So at 13, she's getting paid $25 an hour to host my Zooms. And I usually do a Zoom maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And it's usually 2 or 3 hours. So she's killing it.
You didn't try to renegotiate with her?
I didn't. I didn't. Because I lowballed her and she called me and she was like, yeah, this is what I want.
You can write her off too, right?
Yeah. So I believe they increased it for 2024, but it used to be $12,500. I think it's $14,000 now. But it used to be $12,500. So you can find an area in your business where your kids can actually assist you. They can be a model. They can be on your website. You know, they could just wear a piece of your clothing. They could bring you your phone. They could be, you know, whatever. And you can write it off as long as it makes sense.
How did you get her interested in entrepreneurship? How did she start? Did you ingrain it in her, or did she just pick it up?
Her first business was a slime business. She loved slime. And I had banned it from the house. So Smarty Pants figured out a way to incorporate it into a business. So now that it's a business, we have a dedicated room. At the time, she had a dedicated room in the house. And, you know, that's just what it was. So now you can't ban it because now I'm making money from it. It's my business. And you're not going to ban my business. So she started that, I want to say she was like 8 or 9.
Oh, wow.
And we invested into a class. There's a company called Slumu. They had a summer class. We invested into the summer class, and she did that, and she did really well at it. And they taught her different tricks and how to make the slime and how to make the activator and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
She shipped to maybe 6 or 7 different countries. And probably almost every state when it came to slime. And she just lost the interest in slime. She outgrew it. And so now she's into jewelry and fashion and accessories. And that grew from not being able to find anything appropriate to wear when we were going to the stores. It was kind of like either it was too childish, you know, because she's in this 13-year-old phase, or it was too adult-like, and I wouldn't let her wear it. So it was just like, I'm just going to create my own website and buy my own clothes and, you know, make my own jewelry. So it's just naturally in her. It's just engraved in her.
Oh, that's nice. So it stems from things that she enjoys.
Yeah, it's always something that she enjoys. And I just give her that freedom of, you know, just making her decision. I do encourage her, and I always remind her of how important it is, or how I think it's important for her to work. And just build that foundation. And then once you have, you know, a solid savings and a solid, you know, network or whatever, and you've kind of purchased your home and bought your vehicle, then pursue entrepreneurship. Then, you know, but, you know, she's going to do her own thing. I didn't have that luxury. You know, my mom cried when I stopped working for the bank, like, boo-hoo cried, because she's worked for she's had the same job. I'm 30. She's had the same job for 30 plus years. You know, same different positions. You know, she's high up in her position, but it's just that stability of that I know that check is coming in every week or every month. And she's like, "Are you gonna be okay?" So, but my father is like all hands on deck. You know, if this is what you want to do, this is what you're doing. And he just let me, you know, rock with it. My mom is very supportive as well. Whatever I'm doing, she's right there in my corner. But she did not want me to leave corporate America. So.
What was the last straw for corporate America for you?
So I probably stayed far past my expiration date. I had closed on, I want to say a $2 million business, a commercial loan. And my VP at the time sent me a thank you letter, congratulating me on closing, and he sent me a certificate to go on the company's website and buy something. and so I closed on a $2 million loan, and in return, I probably got maybe a sweatshirt. I don't remember what I bought with it. So I think for me, that was just kind of like, okay, yeah, this.
So you didn't get like a percentage or nothing?
No, so you get, so in the bank, you have sales goals that you have to meet. And that did go to my sales goals. But if you don't hit every bracket within your sales goals, you don't get anything. So I don't remember if that quarter I was successful in meeting every bracket. Probably so, because I was pretty good. But yeah, it's not even a 0.1% of $2 million at all. And then they had a cap on the amount that you could receive.
So how much they gave you, like $2,000?
I probably didn't even get that.
Wow. Were you mad? Were you mad, or that was just it for you?
I wasn't mad. I probably still worked for them. I worked for them up until after the pandemic. And I actually was terminated for teaching and coaching So I got a phone call that said that somebody reported me and said that I was teaching business owners about how to get funding and grants.
Wow.
And
Do you know who told on you, or you don't know?
I had so many complaints when I was
Haters.
working.
Yeah.
There was a young lady who she had a book on me of stuff
Oh my God.
that she would tell. So, and I don't think I've ever shared this. But yes, so I got a phone call, and they pretty much said, because of the nature of my work and because of the competition, that I had two decisions. I either had to stop and dissolve my business, or they were terminating me. And I was just kind of like, yeah,
I'm good.
I make my salary in a month.
So you was already getting grants?
Yeah, I already had a child care facility. I was already coaching. I was already in the coaching space. It was just that it was the security. It was I had amazing benefits. I didn't have to worry about benefits. I really probably was working just for the benefits. And then I had some other goals that I was trying to reach. And sometimes, having that W-2 instead of that tax return to kind of purchase real estate and things like that, it just makes the process easier. So I really was working to make sure that W-2 was able to kind of get my foot in the door for what I was the goal I was trying to reach. And we knocked it out. But, sometimes having that W-2 just makes things easier for you.
It's amazing why people don't quit their job. I remember when I was quitting my job, they were like, "What about your insurance?" I was like, "Man, F my insurance." Like, you gonna stay at a job just for your insurance?
I really stayed in my job for my insurance. I really believe I stayed in my job for my insurance, and I just got so complacent. And then the pandemic hit, and then I worked from home, so it was just kind of like, I'm just gonna sit here and turn my computer on with my robe on and go hit my mouse every couple of minutes. So it was just, it was time. It was past time. In coaching, I just the day I quit my job, I want to say I had like a $10,000 day. I didn't quit, but the day I was terminated, I want to say I had like a $10,000 day. So it was just kind of like, okay, let's do this. So yeah.
Do you regret working for corporate America?
Never.
Never?
No.
Okay.
I built some amazing relationships working for corporate America. One of my favorite clients, he's my client now. I met him at the bank. Multi-millionaire. I can call him for advice. I can call him for, investment advice. I can call him for resources, whatever that is. And I made that connection at the bank. Whatever it is I need. If it's insurance, I have a Rolodex of people that I met working in that space that can help me and help my business in any avenue. So I don't regret it at all.
Do you still bank there? You still have your account there?
No, I shut my accounts down long time ago. Anybody that works for a bank, I do not encourage them to have an account at that bank, because they have access to go in and look at your information.
That's what I was saying, so they can see all the money you're making.
Yep. So that was an issue.
Oh, okay.
That came up before. I got a phone call about my deposits that were going into my account for my child care, and they were like, "Well, if you're making this much at a child care, why do you still work here?"
That is not okay. That's not okay.
Was that the Karen, or that was like management?
That was management. That was we have like a department where we had like a department. My when I tell you I was there far past my expiration date, I have a manager that I'm still very close with, and she calls me like randomly, like, "I can't believe you stayed at that place." Wow. But I don't regret it at all.
Yeah, that would have stressed me out working there.
Yeah, it was very stressful. It was very stressful. I used to have migraines. I used to have to take FMLA days. I no longer have those migraines. I think a lot of that had to do with that space. But I say go in, if you're going to get a corporate job, go in, have your goals that you want to knock out, and let it help you reach those goals. Have your pivot, when you're going to pivot, and then just, stick to your plan. And that's the mistake I made. I didn't stick to my plan.
Are you gonna want your daughter to go to college or no?
Do I want her to go?
Yeah.
The decision is hers. I definitely would love for her to make that decision. I encourage it. I believe college you make some connections in college as well, and friendships and bonds that last a lifetime. She's an only child. So sometimes you go and you create that sisterhood and that family relationship, especially if you decide to join. I'm not Greek, but joining a sorority or something of that sort. So I encourage college all day long. I do want her to go away for college. That's how I ended up in Alabama from Nashville. Moving away was the best decision that I could have made. So I do encourage, if she's going to go to school, she can't go in Nashville and she can't go in Alabama.
Oh, for real? Wow. Yeah, she's from LA. She moved from LA.
Yeah, I moved, and it was one of the best decisions as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, moving out of my hometown.
Yeah. I agree. Best thing I could have did. So.
And this bank you were working for, was it a major bank?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll say the name. Oh, okay.
Just curious.
Yeah, I can say the name. It was Wells Fargo. So
okay.
If you know anything about the scary sales stories, if you Google it, you'll see all of the crazy stuff that goes on. But yeah.
I heard a lot of negative stuff about Wells Fargo.
So banking wise, I will say this, especially as a business owner. Wells Fargo is one of the top lenders when it comes to small business lending for companies under 5 years. They have an SBA program. As long as you have your documents in order, Wells Fargo will fund you connected with the SBA. So banking wise, I would definitely encourage building a relationship with Wells Fargo. But working for Wells Fargo, give them about 3 maybe.
Oh, okay.
What's your top 5 banks you recommend for grants?
So banks for grants, it's challenging to get a bank from a grant.
Okay.
Wells Fargo is one of the top lenders. They usually do a lot of lending to LGBTQ. So they have a foundation that does funding directly to that. But banks usually have like foundations that they make outside of the bank that give back to the community.
Okay.
Yeah. So I probably wouldn't have 5 for banks. Now corporations, Chick-fil-A, Lowe's, Starbucks has like $1 trillion. It might not be $1 trillion, but they have a crazy platform where they give out globally. Dick's Sporting Goods, they have a good platform. And who else? AT&T. AT&T has they give out quarterly grants too. So AT&T.
What about T-Mobile? No.
I don't know. Verizon, they give out Verizon, they have a $10,000 grant right now. And they give out, but you have to take 2 courses to even qualify for the grant. So you have to sit down, you have to take 2 courses that teach you about being an entrepreneur, which I love, and then you can go in and apply for the grant.
Is there first-time home buyer grants out there?
Yeah, I'm not so your realtor I would encourage you to speak to your realtor. But there's definitely a ton of first-time home buyer programs that are available in home buyer grants. I wouldn't know a lot about those just because they're not associated with business. But yeah, there's tons.
What's the most money you got at a time for a grant?
$146,000 at one time.
At one time.
$146,000.
What's the most you got like in a year?
It's definitely well over 6 figures.
Well over 6 figures?
It's well over 6 figures.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know my exact. In 1 year, I don't know my exact number.
Okay.
Yeah. So the thing about me is I'm more so focused on helping others get this information that sometimes I forget about myself. I'll have a calendar of 30 grants that I'm supposed to apply for because I try to apply for at least 1 grant a day. And I'll miss deadlines because I had to jump on Zoom, or because I had a class, or because I have a challenge, or, whatever that looks like. I miss out on opportunities for grants because I'm helping other entrepreneurs get access to funding. So people say, I'm not applying for the grant because you're applying for it. Well, I might miss it. So apply too. So,
So you just strictly coach. You don't do grants for other people.
I do. So right now I'm hosting a 5-day challenge. So I have a 5-day challenge that's getting ready to start. And in the 5 days, I teach you about grants. I encourage entrepreneurs to learn about grants before hiring my team to be a grant writer. Because if you don't understand what grants are, you'll have this unrealistic expectation of how my team can assist you. And then there are certain things that you have to have in place in order to secure grant funding. So my 5-day challenge teaches you about grants. It teaches you about business funding. It teaches you about structuring your business. It also goes over the information that you will need if you decided to be a grant writer. So if you say, you know what, I like this information, I need an additional stream of income, we have people in our community now that are so skilled at writing their own grants. Now they're going out and writing grants for others, and they're making $10,000 to $20,000 a month just writing grants for other people. So we're teaching this information as well in our 5-day challenge. Now, after the 5-day challenge, there will be an offer to work directly with me and my team, but I gotta teach you first. So,
how many mentees you got?
So I have 3 different communities.
Okay.
I have just a solid business community that has about 4,000 people in it. I have another community that's grants that has about, I think, 1,900 people in it. And then I have a business and grant community that's a paid for community. And that one has about 400 or 500 people in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, when it's all said and done, you finna get rid of all the males and you just gonna do girls, or you gonna keep the males?
So, my goal is to partner with someone or either teach someone that's a male that can actually go out and strategically help other male entrepreneurs. Males work better with males, females work better with females. That's just how I feel about it. But yeah, so my goal is to service and be very hands-on. And I just think that relationship is better with females.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you do? What's the 5 things people need to apply for a grant?
5 things people need. All right. First thing you want to have is a business plan.
Okay.
Most people don't. They start a business and don't even have a business.
In writing, right?
In writing.
Okay.
In writing. You want to have a business plan. Next thing you want to do is have a registered business. You want to have your LLC. You want to make sure, or LLC, S Corp, C Corp, or nonprofit, whichever you decide. You want to have a EIN. Grants need to be associated directly with your business and not with you. So you want to make sure you have an EIN. You want to have a mission statement and a statement of need. So these are going to outline, why you need the funds, how you're going to execute when you get access to the funds, and why these companies or organizations should invest into you. You also want to have a budget. If I got to give you 5, you also want to have a budget. These companies want to know down to the penny, how are you going to use the funds when you receive them? So having a budget is important as well.
Okay. So, you have you plan on getting like a farm? Because I know you told me you're like a country girl.
No, I don't want a farm.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the country. I like the view of the country, but I don't like to even see
the cowboys and
I like
the cows.
I like the view.
Okay.
I love the view. I love looking out my back door and seeing nothing but grass and land and trees or the cow. Or I love that. But no, to actually go out and do it, no, I'm okay.
Okay. You ride horses?
No.
Okay.
I've rode a horse before, but no, that's not for me.
I think you mentioned that you wanted to be a lawyer at one point.
Yes. So initially when I was in school, my major was political science and sociology. So my goal was to attend law school. I wanted to be a sports lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
And senior year, pregnant with my baby, and just decided that I needed to figure out another journey. Just because we needed money now. We couldn't wait. And I could have went. I have a very, very, very supportive family. I still could have went to law school. I still could have made it happen.
That was senior year in high school or senior year in college?
Senior in college.
Oh, okay.
Senior in college.
Okay.
I still could have made it happen. I still could have went to law school, but I just decided that, I started working for a payday loan company at that time. And I grew a love for finance. And I grew a love, when I worked at the payday loan company, I grew a love for helping and making a difference. With the payday loan company, what I would see is people would come in, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with the payday loan company, but they would come in and so you come in, you get $500, you pay them back $87.50. You pay them back $87.50 every 2 weeks. People were coming in every 2 weeks to the point where they were coming in the whole year, 2 years, 3 years. I had one lady, we sat down and calculated how much she had been there since that particular facility opened, and we calculated how much she had gave them, and it wasn't like maybe $20,000 or $30,000.
Now, with payday loans, is that credit checks at all?
No, they don't check your credit.
Nah.
Oh,
They might now. At the time, they didn't. They might now.
Sometimes they look at your like account and see how much money is coming in.
Yeah, they look at your paycheck. They go by your paycheck.
Yeah.
So some of these people only make $600-$700, right? So if you only make $600-$700, and then I got to come to you and I got to pay you $587.50, that's only leaving me with a couple of $100. So I have no choice but to take the loan back out.
right.
Because you have to come in, you have to give me the full $587.50 every time. So they were paying this company $87.50 every 2 weeks. I don't know if you want to do the math, but they were paying this company $87.50 every 2 weeks. What I started doing was trying to figure out a way for these people to, how can we help you make some extra money so that you don't have to come in and keep paying this $87.50? What are other options? What are other things that we can do? So I grew in love for finance, and I grew in love for helping while just being in that space. And that's how I ended up at the bank. I'm like, yeah, let me go. This I don't like this atmosphere. Let me go somewhere else. And then at the bank, I worked in every avenue of the bank. I worked except for teller. I worked in commercial lending. I worked in business lending. I assisted in private banking where you had to have $1 million to even go through the door. And I wanted to be a change while I was working at the bank. The bank only gives you so much. The bank is more so about making a number and meeting a quota than helping too. So that's kind of how I started teaching as well, just from helping people from the payday loan company, from the bank, to my entrepreneur journey as well.
So that's how you gained your knowledge, is through the bank.
Yeah.
To teach others.
Yeah. I'm not going to say everything I learned, but a lot of what I learned came from the bank. I went to every class. No, when I was working there, I thought it was funny. I would go to the classes just to get out of work. But now I'm like, that was my journey. That's what I was supposed to be doing so that I can be here and I can be in this space now to teach others. If they had a class that was 2 hours and it would teach you about credit, I was going. If they had a class that was, 30 minutes and it would teach you about buying a home, I was going. I was signing up and I was going. They thought I was the most amazing person ever because I would take all of these classes. I was just trying to get out of work for the day. But now I'm thankful that I did because I was able to learn so much. And I know the blueprint in the back, what the banks want on the back end, because I took that information and I applied it to my coaching brand.
Now, these classes, were they only available to employees? Or?
Yes, only available to employees. So they would have top execs come in and teach us about credit, or teach us about, the home ownership wheel, or teach us about business funding. And teach us about sales too. They would teach us, how to uncover additional. My goal or my job was to, when you came into the bank, if you came in with the issue, my job was to solve your issue, but it was also to make sure I sold you on another product or another service that you need. So not only did you come in and say, hey, my debit card's not working. You walked out with a credit line for $50,000 and all you did was come in because your debit card wasn't working. So I learned that at the bank.
Oh, you would think that they would want to offer these classes to people who don't work at the bank.
Absolutely not. Why would I invest into you? And
right.
You're not an employee. But it's also banking back end. This is top banking secrets. This is what our underwriters are looking for. So they don't want this information out in the community because it gives the community a leverage and an upper hand.
Interesting.
That company that was Ace. That was Ace. The
Wells Fargo, where I work.
No, the $400. The
Advance America.
Advance America.
Uh-huh.
Are those always like in the hood? I feel like they always preying on black people.
They're always in the hood. They're always in low income areas. When they target where they're going to put, because they go out and they market where they're going to put the facility, it has to be in a demographic that has like a certain type of income, like a low income area. There are certain states that don't even allow payday loan companies just because they target the low income areas. But what people do is, if your state doesn't, I believe Georgia, they don't allow payday loan companies. So people drive to the Tennessee border to get their payday loans. So,
because they're charging like 400%.
Yes, it's like 456.
Sheesh.
If it's the same, 456.25% is what they're is
Mhm.
what it was.
Yeah, I got one. I was in a bind when I first got into real estate.
hmm
I got a loan for my title,
hmm
and I paid off the house, got my money, and then I went down there to pay it off, and they were like asking me, do I just want to put it down? I'm like, nah, I want my title back. Like they're like encouraging me just to put it like a couple more hundred down, and then like I was like, I want my title back. Like I want my give me my title.
Yeah.
Like it's like they try to get you to keep on just paying them like them little monthly payments. It's all interest.
It's all interest. It's all interest. It's scary.
It is. It is.
Mm.
It stresses you. I was stressed out because I was like, man, if they take my car, like I'm gonna be very mad.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
it's
Mm.
definitely something I think they should do away with. I think they've been, tried to pass a couple of laws to do away with it, but there are some people who actually now there are some people when you're in a bind,
Mhm.
it's a great resource.
Correct.
But you have to have a plan to get out
Correct.
immediately
Correct.
and don't ever use it again.
Correct.
So it definitely helped some people. I remember one story, a lady needed her medicine. Older lady, disability check. She didn't get paid until the first of the month. She needed her medicine. She came in, we did an application for her. She had cancer. She was able to go get her medicine. But what I hate about it is now she has to come in every single month, and it's putting herself deeper and deeper in a hole. So, you got to have that pivot. You got to be able to know how to climb out of that, or you'll be stuck forever.
Mhm. Then pawn shop loans too.
I don't know much about those.
It's the same thing.
Is it?
You just bring like your shoes or something valuable, and then they'll give you a loan on it, and then you're paying like 400%.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Same
scary.
thing.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. Yeah.
Do you plan on getting in real estate or no?
So, my parents are in real estate, and I have a little experience in real estate. I don't want to teach real estate at all. I've had my story is a little different than a lot of people's, and I just, what I do is what I do, and I really don't share a lot about real estate. But yeah, I play. I've had some experience.
The home health care with the kids, you still have it?
Yes, the
Okay.
daycare.
Yes.
Yeah, we still have it.
Do you plan on getting more of those, or that's?
Definitely plan on expanding. We're gonna expand it to Nashville. That's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely plan on expanding.
Okay.
Yeah, expanding into like the Nashville, Clarksville area. Yeah, we're working on it.
So you're not moving to Atlanta?
No, no.
Is there anywhere else where you would move, like Houston?
No, I wouldn't move to Houston. Houston's busy. Atlanta's busy. No, I love my little country town. I can go where I need to. We're kind of the hub. We're in the middle. If I want to shoot to Atlanta, I can. If I want to shoot to Tennessee, if I want to shoot to Louisiana, I'm kind of like in the middle of everything. So I like it.
Okay. You got any more questions? Okay. Let me ask you like an either or question,
Okay.
and then we'll be done. Flips or rentals?
It depends on the city. Flips.
Flips.
Yeah.
Okay. Stocks or NFTs?
Stocks.
Stocks. Are you in stocks?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Can I ask you what you in or no?
No.
Stocks or crypto?
Crypto.
Crypto? So you have crypto?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Money or equity?
Equity.
Equity. Earn your leisure or sleep is for suckers?
Oh. Ouch. Sleep is for suckers.
Sleep is for suckers?
Yeah.
Are you going on this podcast?
I'm not. I don't know. I would love to be on the. I love Donnie.
Would you go on her podcast?
I would love to be on Donnie's podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Donnie. So yeah, I'll rock with Sleep is for Suckers.
You can be transparent?
I'll be transparent.
Okay.
I'm ready to be transparent.
Yeah, she asks like a lot of personal questions.
She does.
You plan on going on Earn Your Leisure too?
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Who knows what the future holds?
Okay.
I'll definitely be in InvestFest this year.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Yeah. You
I'm
gonna be there?
pregnant.
I'm about to say we'll be there, but I can't speak. Well, I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be at InvestFest this year.
All right. 850 credit score, $1 million.
850 credit score.
50 credit score.
Yeah.
Okay. Was your credit score good before you got into
Banking?
Yeah.
Yes. My mom probably checked my credit up until I was probably 25, 26 years old. Like, I remember going, you know, you're in the mall and they ask you to sign up for something, and I signed up for something and it hit my credit. My mama called me like, what did you just do? I was 23, 24 years old. Like, I think I'm grown. So my parents were very good with educating me about credit. So yeah, before I went into banking.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a good score. I was a homeowner very, very early.
I was the opposite. My parents wasn't really good with credit, so
Yeah.
I like saw what they did wrong and I kind of flipped it.
Yeah, and I think you know, my parents made some credit mistakes, had some credit challenges, and it was just educating me about, you know, what not to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I was a homeowner at 19. I bought my first house, and that was the encouragement of my parents. So yeah,
Okay. So you never had to live on campus?
I lived on campus for the first year.
First year?
Yeah.
And that was it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tour or Airbnb?
Airbnb.
Airbnb?
Yeah.
You have any Airbnbs?
No.
Okay. Business account or regular account?
Business.
LLC or S Corp?
Depends on the business. We'll say S Corp.
S Corp?
Yeah.
You have an S Corp?
I do.
Okay.
I have several LLCs too, though.
Okay. S Corp. How many LLCs you have?
Probably 6 or 7.
You recommend that for people that have multiple LLCs?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Every LLC can get grant funding. Every LLC can get business funding.
Okay.
But if you're not profitable, if you don't have a business that's making at least $60,000 or more in profit, I have an LLC that's just dormant. That's just for business funding. There's no value in being an S corp until you're at that profit level.
Do you plan on getting any more LLCs?
Probably. Yeah.
Okay.
I probably have 3 nonprofits that are registered. Yeah, I probably have over 10 legal entities altogether.
Okay.
I think the average millionaire has like 20-something.
20-something LLCs?
Yeah, 20-something legal entities.
Okay.
Yeah.
S Corp or C Corp?
It depends. All of that depends.
Well, for you, what it's up to you.
It depends on what business I'm talking about. C Corp.
C Corp?
Yeah.
Okay. That's it.
That's it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you so much for flying out.
No problem. Thank you. If you're watching, I just want to remind you to join the 5-day challenge. Let me teach you about grants. Let me teach you about business funding. Let me teach you about how to properly structure your business and how to get debt-free funding for your business.
Oh, one more thing. You go to live like you go on live like every day. Like, why you go on live so much?
I go on live every day. I grew my social media platform. This time last year, I had 4,000 followers. Now I'm at 181,000 followers.
Mm-hmm.
I engage with my followers because my goal is to teach and educate them. So I go live every day, one to engage, and then one to talk about the upcoming challenge that we have, and just to grow my space. People know I'm a real person. They know I'm getting real results. You know, I have people come on live and talk about their success. So I think that's important.
Oh, one more. How many your mentees? What's the most money what's the most money on grants have they made?
1.7 million is the most.
That's at a time or is it over?
Overtime.
Overtime.
Yeah, she's probably maybe 3 or 4 years in. But 1.7 million in 4 years is outstanding.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming. That was a very great episode.
No problem. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you.